Hey, good afternoon, guys. So, a lot of people have asked me what kind of hay we feed or what have we been putting in our feeders or how that's working out. Um, so now this field was sorghum Sudan that they grazed off, and these are all our kids and lambs from this year's kid crop for the most part. And we started them on some sorghum Sudan hay because they were used to this sorghum Sudan being out here. And remember, we put oats in the feeders and they didn't get onto it too much to start with. So then they got onto the feeders now, and they're eating about a pound of oats a day out of the feeders. And we switched to this oat hay we had. And the oat hay, it has quite a few oats in it. You want to put up oat hay when it's when the oats are in the milk stage, when they're not really fully mature yet. And this oat hay, now we have our hay tested. I just sent some hay samples in to a lab in I think it's in Hutchinson, Kansas. SDK is where I send the hay samples, but it was testing around I don't know, more than 9% protein and a TDN over 50, like maybe around 53, 55. I guess I could actually find those tests and show them here. But they're liking it quite a bit, and since they're eating oats out of the feeder, it just seemed natural we give them this oat hay too, and they're cleaning it up pretty good. Now they're eating about a bale and a half a day. Now when we've had, I don't know, it seemed like a couple of weeks of that cold, rainy weather there around Christmas and before, they were eating, about 2 bales a day or 2 bales and a bale and a half or something. Their feed intake really picked up when they were wet and cold. But now the last couple days we're out of that, and it's not too bad. It's probably almost 50 degrees here right now. And their feed intake has cut back. They're more a bale and a half or maybe a little less per day. Travis rolled out a half a bale this morning, and then it's mid-afternoon now, and I just gave him a full bale. But you want to keep them full, of course. Give them all they want, and that's a problem with a hay feeder. Sometimes they just can't all get around it. They can't pull it out of the round bale as easy as you think. We have a couple hay feeders up there in the lot where they go up to the loafing shed at night and where their water is, but they'll never eat as much there as they will if we roll this out for them here. And it's I don't really think they waste less in that hay feeder. They might even waste more, but they just can eat it easier, and they like it better, and their feed intake is considerably more, and that's what you want. Somebody says, well, is it better if they don't eat as much, don't cost as much, but they don't gain as much? See, that's the catch. So we unroll it, and yeah, they lay on some of it at night, especially when it's been muddy like this. But I don't know, is that wasting it? I'd rather them be comfortable and I waste a little bit of hay here than to not be comfortable and start losing weight, and then you have all kinds of health problems if they're gaining good, your health problems will be much less. You'll still have them probably, but now here's the feeder, and you can see the oats. Now see, they have to stick their tongue in there and they lick those oats out where that guard is. But here's what I don't understand. There's a whole bunch of oats in that trough, and you would think that they would just eat those up. That would be easy picking. But they just seems like once they get in that trough, they don't like them. There is some dirt in there. They get their feet in there and stuff, but there's still a lot of good clean oats that they could eat out of there. So I don't know. Sometimes I just break those out. If I got a bucket, I put them in a bucket and I put them back into the feeder. Sometimes I throw them out around the side of the feeder to seed this to oats. You know, we're probably going to seed this next year to oats. Now this side doesn't have the guard on it, and they do eat more, and this is set pretty wide. They eat a little bit more out of this side without the guard. And these are the same Advantage feeders. We've been using them for a few years now. I don't know, I'm kind of liking them better as the more we use them. So see, there's, we filled these, must have been Friday morning, that's a day ago. So this one's about half empty. It doesn't mean they'll all be half empty. Sometimes they just like one more than the other. Now we didn't raise the oats. I was able to buy these from a friend of mine that was combining some of them. And so he bought a couple thousand bushel. And we took all our oats. We planted several acres of oats, and we hayed those oats. Hay was at a premium this year, and so we thought we could sell the oat hay, but we really didn't sell any oat hay because, I don't know, people thought it was, well, oat straw, but we sold other hay and we kept the oats in for ourselves, and I'm kind of liking it, and I'm liking it in these feeders. They don't plug up. They feed down real well. The animals like them. They can't, they don't overeat on them. Oats are high fiber, and they're about the same energy and better protein actually than corn, but about the same energy as corn. And so they can't overeat on them, get acidosis. So there's one of our rams. We got the rams out here. These are all our ewe lambs. Bunch of ewe lambs out here, and we turn the rams out with them. So that's what we've been feeding. We've got 5 of these feeders, which may not be enough, but there's almost always some space at them. Well, we've got over 1,000 animals here, but we'll probably go to a sale here in the middle of January and get rid of a few hundred. I don't know how many we'll have ready. But this got really muddy out here last couple of weeks, where we just kind of had rain off and on. And the animals are really enjoying it now, not being so muddy. So hey, that's what we're feeding, that's what we're doing here. Your situation, you'll just have to price the feed and you can get and what you're doing, but just make sure when you take your sheep and goats, your lambs and kids to the market, they're good and fat. That's kind of the key to getting the top price, but you've got to factor in what that feed's costing you. I mean, you can do that. And oats might work for you. They might be too expensive if you got to go somewhere and buy them. So there you have it, guys. Get them good and fat.